Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into another week of Beat the Bookie. I'm Jacob Morris. I've got some good news and I've got some bad news. A, it's my first time here and I'm going to win you some money. B, my co-hosts bad at their jobs. Want proof? I'll give you proof. Before we get started with my picks, let's take a look at how Calvin Cristoforo did a week ago. I've always said there's two certainties in life. Notre Dame football providing me pain and disappointment, and Calvin losing money, and so far this year both have cashed. Calvin hit on 6 of his 10 picks a week ago, but still lost $6+ Bino's best picks, Oregon and PSU. Both cashed easily. The issue, the man put a whole lot of trust in the Tuck train in Michigan State, $30 lost at the hands of the Spartans. Hey, still better than our good friend Cameron Uzair, though. $90 lost in week 1 for my sterling co-host. 2 men have led you all astray, ladies and gents. It's time for that to change, and that starts right now. We begin with this week's big games, and to Tobacco Road we go. Number 5, Clemson, on the road taking on number 21, Wake Forest. The Tigers, 7.5-point favorites, and look, in an early effort to sabotage me, the producers behind the camera, they wouldn't let me take Clemson when they were -7. I don't care. Give me $10 on Dabo's boys covering. I know the narrative. Anemic offense with DJ Uiagalelei. Tough atmosphere in Winston-Salem, right? Frankly, I don't want to hear it. You know what helps all that? How about a noon kick and a Wake Forest defense that gave up 36 points to Liberty a week ago? Last season, the Tigers beat the Deacs by 3 touchdowns as 3.5-point faves. The Clemson defense gets the job done once again versus Sam Hartman. Look for the same result this time around. To our second big game, number 20 Florida making the trip north for a matchup with number 11 Tennessee. The Gators are 10.5-point dogs in this one, folks. Chomp. Right over left, I'm putting $10 on Florida. Take the money and run. UF has won 5 straight in this rivalry. And how about this? 16 of 17 dating all the way back to 2005. Hendon Hooker and the Vols. I get it. They've looked good. They've also played Pitt and Ball State. Give me UF and the points here. I'm taking proven results in Florida's win over Utah over gimmicky offensive tricks and bought recruiting classes. Final big game of the week, a 3:30 kickoff. Right along with the Gators and Vols, Texas heads to Lubbock for a showdown with Texas Tech. Folks, horns up. UT, 7-point favorites, and I like 10 big ones on the Longhorns to cover. Quinn Ewers, scheduled to make the trip and dress for the game. It's unlikely he goes, but Hendon Hooker, he's gotten the job done in replacement, and we know Bijan Robinson's still one of the best backs in the entire country. The Longhorns have won 5 of 6 in this rivalry. More importantly, they look actually competent this year compared to those last 6 matchups. Texas is far from back, but they cover the spread on the road against the Red Raiders. All right, so we've got Clemson -7.5, Florida to cover the 10.5, and Texas by a touchdown. You're golden with all 3 picks, and let me show you why. Look up there. Those guys behind the camera trying to sabotage me, both Braden Reed and Ethan Frank, the C-suite, fading every single one of my picks. I'm a straightforward guy. I couldn't feel better about this. Last week they went 1-2. If any of our picks lined up, as the honest man I am, I'd tell you to stay away at all costs. We're in great shape, and hey, things about to get a whole lot better. To the rest of the picks, to the rest of my picks we go. Let's talk more Big 12. Number 6 Oklahoma hosting Kansas State in prime time. The Sooners almost 2 touchdown favorites. But let's not focus on that. The over-under in this one, 53.5. When I saw that number, 2 thoughts popped in my head. One, if you take unders, respectfully, you and your entire family, cowards. And B, this number feels extremely low. $10 on the over. I think K-State actually keeps this one relatively close. And hey, we already know Oklahoma has the firepower. They've dropped 30+ in every contest so far. Hey, plus last season, 6 of OU's 9 conference contests, over 53. I think K-State keeps pace at least into the 3rd quarter. Expect Big 12 fireworks and expect an easy hit on the over of 53.5. From Norman to one of the most intriguing matchups on the whole slate this weekend, Iowa and Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights, 8.5-point underdogs. Give me $10 on the boys from Piscataway to cover. This game is going to be putrid to watch in the best possible way. Iowa right now averaging 13.6 points per game through 3 contests. Rutgers averaging 19 a game versus FBS opponents. It's going to be awful in New Jersey. Expecting Iowa to cover by more than a touchdown, far too much, especially on the road in conference. Hey, it's a sold-out SHI Stadium in New Jersey. That's the birthplace of college football. Watch this game for laughs and, hey, lay some money on Rutgers to cover while you're at it. Next up, we're talking Monarchs, and nope, not our friends across the pond. Old Dominion playing host to Arkansas State. ODU 4.5-point favorites, and this is an easy one for me. Give me 15 on the Monarchs to cover. Something I've always said, something I stand and live by. SB Ballard Stadium at 6 p.m. Folks, one of the hardest places to play in all of America. This was a borderline lock for me. Arkansas State, 124th out of 130 FBS teams in total defense a season ago. The Red Wolves, still a broken down turnstile in that department this season. On the other side, ODU opened the season with an upset of Virginia Tech, then within a hair of another one last week against Virginia. Old Dominion easy money here. Let's not overthink this one, people. -4.5 for the Monarchs. Let's keep moving. Mountain West action now. We're not sticking to the Power 5 because plain and simple, I'm built different. UNLV on the road against Utah State. Rebels 2.5-point favorites, and we're riding the Rebel trend. We're riding them hard. It's hard to find two teams that have gone in further directions from where they were a season ago. Utah State won the Mountain West a year ago. Now they're 1-2 with the 1W coming in a dogfight with bottom feeder UConn. UNLV, they took Cal down to the wire, then waxed North Texas a week ago. 3 points is a leftover from last season bias. Take the Rebels, take the money, and run. We're staying on the West Coast for my dog of the week. Hawaii and New Mexico State in a matchup of just two of the worst teams in FBS football. New Mexico State currently a 4.5-point favorite. America, the Aggies should never, under any circumstance, be a favorite. 8-34 since 2018. They rival UConn. 0-4 this year. Forget the points. We're putting $5 on the Rainbow Warriors money line. Getting these types of odds betting against New Mexico State, far too good of an opportunity to pass up on. Bet on the Rainbow Warriors. Bet big on Hawaii. Lock of the weekend, folks. Tonight, we fight on. Lincoln Riley, number 7 USC, on the road at Oregon State in prime time, 6-point favorites. Give me $20 on Southern Cal. Look, this line is swung in the Beavers' direction big time. In some books, Trojans opened as a 13-point favorite and over 80% of money currently on OSU. And folks, that's just how we like it. Everybody against us. USC might not be the playoff team everyone's making them out to be, but the combo of Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison is dynamic, and the Trojans are 3-0 against the spread this year. Corvallis doesn't scare me. It certainly shouldn't scare you either. The Trojans get it done on the road, and that's the lock of the week. And wrapping up with a little parlay action, I've got a good feeling about all of these picks. And people, I can guarantee you this has a chance of hit. $5 on Kansas money line, -285 against Duke. It's going to be a sold-out football stadium in Lawrence. That's an easy win for the Jayhawks. Baylor money line, +122 taking on Iowa State. The Cyclones haven't done much this season besides beating an awful Iowa team. I think Baylor bounces back from a loss to BYU 2 weeks ago. Give me the Bears. Notre Dame money line, +122. Vegas has no idea what's going to happen in this one. Go with the more talented team on the field. Maybe just pray they actually choose to put it together this week. Wrapping up, TCU -2.5 on the road against SMU. Another sold-out environment. Frankly, I don't care. Give me the Horned Frogs. It's an overrated SMU team. TCU rolls. Put it all together, and we're talking $5 to win 59+ on our parlay of the week. Folks, one more time, let's go through the most successful board in all of Citrus TV history. Big games, Clemson -7.5. We're taking Florida in the points. Horns up in Lubbock. In Norman, we're rolling with the over 53.5 between OU and K-State. Rutgers covering 8.5 in one of the most electric matchups in all of college football. Old Dominion and UNLV cover. 20 big ones on USC to cover the 6 in Corvallis. And wrapping up with the Rainbow Warriors money line is our upset of the week. And a $5 parlay of Kansas, Baylor, and Notre Dame money line with a TCU cover in there as well. Reading through the board, I'm not afraid to say it, folks, I don't see a single loss. I'm here to change the narrative. We're used to losers around these parts. No more today. All that shifts. Ladies and gents, it's a great slate of games. It's a great weekend of college football. Sit down, enjoy, and let's make some money.